Hello, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me again in the Best You course. Today we're going to be talking about food and in particular about mindset. So some things that maybe we could shift a little bit in our head that might make a big difference. Now, some of the things that I'm going to mention today are things maybe you're already doing, and that's amazing, wonderful. But maybe you can make a couple little lifestyle choices, changes that could make all the difference for you. So 80% of the equation of whether or not we're going to be fit and feel good and healthy and maybe the appropriate weight has to do with eating. Now, I love working out and I work out almost every day. And one of the things I gain from it are the endorphins and the feel-good hormones. And it's amazing for me. But what I notice, I'm at the gym probably 3-4 times a week or at the lake 3 times a week. There's people who work out even harder than I do. I don't work out that hard. I work out consistently. And we'll be talking about exercise next week. But anyway, I notice some of these people, they work out so hard, but yet they're still really heavy. So why is that? What are they doing when they leave the gym? Maybe they're not eating right. And I've talked to some, and I know that that is the case. And I've seen some, say, at a restaurant, one in particular. I saw him at a restaurant that is a soup and salad type place, but all he had were carb type things, white things on his tray. Pizzas and pastas and things like that. But anyway, so it's not a one-size approach in eating that's going to work for everyone. But I'm going to make some suggestions and see what sounds good for you. So it's not, you're not going to lose weight by willpower, and diets don't work. It has to actually become a lifestyle, something that you implement into your life that works for you. Now, unfortunately, those of us in the United States, you might have heard this term before, the SAD diet, the standard American diet. You look around and there's fast food restaurants on every corner, maybe more than one, and there's people going to those, and maybe you do once in a while, and I go once in a while to healthier choice ones, but I try not to at all. And unfortunately, some people are eating that every single day or a couple times a day as their main way of eating. So not to say you do that, but even if you go a couple times a week, see if you can reduce that. So we want to be thinking about our food as fuel. Now, you wouldn't go to the gas station and put sugary water into your vehicle, right? But sometimes we put crappy food into our body. And we have to get into the idea of food as fuel. That's one mentality mind shift that maybe you could think about implementing or thinking on a more regular basis. So your food is going to determine how you feel. How does your body feel? How is your movement going to be that day? How's your energy going to be? Are you going to have enough energy to go from morning to night without having to take a nap or sitting down or whatever you may do during the course of the day? Are you going to feel great while you're doing it? So one of the things I like to think about is replacing something. So if you know there's something you shouldn't be eating, then we replace it with something that would be a healthier, better choice. Sometimes it's hard to just get rid of something because we don't want to ever feel deprived. And otherwise it just doesn't work. Then you feel so neglected or deprived that you're going to just go and maybe pig out, and that's not productive. So if we really want something that's not so good for us, maybe think about having one bite of it. And then, do I really like it? Do I really want it? And if the answer is yes, then savor it and just enjoy it and have it. If you don't really like it, don't feel bad. Take that little bite, throw it out. You don't have to finish it. Oh, so like for me, it's chocolate. I've been a chocolate addict my whole life, ever since I was a teeny little girl. My mother gave me a hot fudge Pop-Tart and hot chocolate and sent me out the door for school. And then I had a Nestle Crunch Bar every single day as a teenager or I felt sick. And what I wasn't aware of is that I had that sugar addiction and I'd have that up of the sugar and then I'd crash later even more and then I'd have to be grabbing for food. So what I found over the years, I've been able to get rid of chocolate for a while, and I had 5 years ago or so a system that I started using, which I'll share with you later, that helped me get rid of it for a while. But then it came back again. I had the chocolate, and like any good addiction, comes back. I actually saw something recently that I found interesting, that a sugar chocolate addiction does about the same in the brain as a cocaine addiction. So it's a real thing. And your addiction might be something else. Maybe your bread or pasta or chips. we all have our little something that we just sometimes crave. And especially if you're still getting your period, not getting your period, we still have hormonal shifts. And I find right before that time for me, I want that chocolate, and I'm going to have that chocolate. But what I suggest is if you're going to have it, have a little bit less of it. And if you really want it, I've gone through times where I thought, oh, you know what? I'm not going to have the chocolate. And then I wind up eating nuts or some fruit or a vegetable or this or that. And guess what? I still want the chocolate. My head is still wanting the chocolate, and I'm going to eat it anyway. So I might as well cut to the chase and save all the calories on all the other things that I just ate and just have the chocolate. So speaking of calories, so I never count calories. I've never ever counted calories, and I don't suggest you do either. I don't think that's effective. If that works for you, great, but that's not what I'm suggesting. So one of the mindset shifts that I'm suggesting is be mindful of your food. Be thinking about the food you actually put in your body and how it makes you feel. So when you eat whatever it is you eat, does it make your body feel the way you would like your body to feel? And is that a good thing? Is that a yes? Is that a no? If it's a good thing, then great, eat it. And also in terms of mindful eating, I think our society has moved away from the way you and I probably ate when we were kids. I know for me, growing up in the Midwest, we ate at 5:30 every night, give or take a few minutes, but that was the rule. And we all sat around the table and we ate, we talked, it was a time to visit. And I think a lot of families have moved away from that, busy with work and games and football and baseball and basketball and kids' sports and events and everyone just working so much. But it really makes a difference. So I know for my family, we try to have that dinner at least 3-4 times a week. And we sit and we visit and we eat our food together. And taste your food when you're eating it. Feel the food. What does it feel like to have that food? Chew your food. So you want to be chewing your food between, say, 30 and 60 times. The more you chew it before you swallow it, the better. Now, I know my dog Rosie, she just chomps it right down, but I'm not sure that's how we're supposed to be eating, right? So again, use those calories wisely. I'm not saying count them, but think about the nutritional value. So a meal, say, that is 700 calories at Jack in the Box is not going to be the same as eating a nice healthy meal at your home where maybe you have some lean meat or some fish and some vegetables and things like that. Calories are not created equal. I had a client one time who she should have known better. She was actually a Zumba instructor, and she told me how she was wearing a monitor and she would burn about 1,000 calories in a session of Zumba, but then she would reward herself. And she would go to Jack in the Box, but she was proud of the fact that she only ate 800 calories. So she felt she was 200 calories to the good. Now, that didn't help her at all. Her body didn't look as good as it could have, and she didn't feel as good as she should have. So anyway, so if you're going to eat the calories, make them count. Make them healthy as possible and love what you're eating. Now, for any good habits, we want to make them easy. So if you want to start eating more fruit and more vegetables, go to the store, prepare, have them ready. Maybe you cut up your vegetables in advance, maybe on a Sunday before the week gets crazy, and have those healthy snacks stored away in a glass bowl in your fridge that last longer. And then if you want to break a habit, you want to make it more difficult. So when I try not to eat something, guess what? First of all, I don't buy it. But say I do buy it, then I put it sometimes in an inconvenient place, one where it's not going to be staring at me all the time, or I have to make a little more effort to get it. And then maybe you just don't even think about it or forget about it. So we want to sometimes trick ourselves into better habits. Another thing I would suggest is do not weigh yourself very often. My mother recently thought she was doing me a good deed, and she bought me a scale. I had it in my bathroom, and I was weighing myself every day. Well, you know what? I actually gained a few pounds with that scale in my bathroom. So now I put it away, and I weigh myself about once a week, either on that scale or at the gym, and I've lost the pounds again. So whatever works for you, but I would not suggest you weigh yourself every day. And I'll tell you why. Like for me, say I worked out well that the day before, and I ate well, but then I get on the scale, and I gained weight for some odd reason. That kind of says to me, oh gosh, you're actually getting punished for doing those good things. Then there's been times that I haven't worked out and I haven't eaten so well, and I get on the scale and I lost weight. Excuse me. So again, that's telling me, oh, you could do those things and you're losing weight, so maybe you should continue those. But I know a few days later, the weight catches up to me one way or the other. So I weigh myself at best once a week. And I had a lady friend, it was funny, she weighs herself a couple times a day, which I don't suggest at all. And then I did a little workout with her, and then she weighed herself and said that she gained 2 pounds of muscle in the teeny workout we did, and she was never working out again. So that wasn't productive. So your scale is not always your best friend. Judge how you feel, judge how your clothes fit. Do you have that perfect pair of jeans that you just love that make you feel so good, but you put them on and they're just too tight? Well, that means you need to do a little something. Or that test skirt. I've got a skirt I've had for 20-something years. And I can tell you, for the most part, I can get back into it. Sometimes can't zip it, and that's when I know I need to change things up just a little bit. So use whatever tools work for you. And what I'm going to talk about in the next video is a system of eating that I've been using for the past 5 years, and I've helped many other people use this system as well. And it's helped me get back to the size I was 20 years ago and 2 children ago, and fit into those clothes that I dug out recently in my garage, and I could fit in them. Not that I want to wear them necessarily, or that my kids would let me wear them, but that's another topic. Anyway, so down below you're going to find some fun sheets. Take a look at them. See what you'd like to implement this week. What 1 to 3 items can you do that would make a little bit of a difference, a little bit of an improvement in how you feel, and the natural byproduct when we give our body what it wants, the lifestyle shift to something healthier for us, you will lose weight. You will get back to where your body should be without dieting, and I guarantee you that. So down below you'll also find the tracker. So like I said, pick 1 to 3 items. Don't get in overwhelm. And of course, we're here for you on the Facebook group. Come join us. And if you want to be a little brave, post your 1 to 3 items that you're going to do this week. And I'll put mine there as well. And I wish the best for you. I'm so honored that you're here with me. It really means a lot to me. So come on down to the next video and I'll talk more about what I've been doing very successfully for the past 5 years and some of the shifts I've made in my eating. Okay, love you very much, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.